washed and styled my curls today for under $25, and that includes clarifying, deep conditioning, and styling. I'm on a mission to find some good drugstore products because it can be so hard to find good products that are actually at a drugstore price and that are readily available in store. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Gina, and here I make videos all about naturally curly hair. I love simplifying things, talking about the science of hair, doing step-by-step tutorials, and really helping you problem solve with your curls. So if you like this video and if you're into that sort of thing, make sure you subscribe before you go. The first step is optional, and that is to pre-treat your hair with some coconut oil before you shampoo. Now, I typically use a hair oil, like a hair serum or something that's formulated for hair, but I really wanted to keep the products minimal in this routine because we're keeping it affordable. So I wanted to use something that you could probably find in your pantry. Any oil will do, but coconut oil in particular has been shown in studies to actually protect the hair from damage during the shampooing process. Coconut oil is highly penetrating, so it will actually absorb into the hair, which can protect it from losing proteins, also from losing too much moisture during shampooing. And I'm using a pretty harsh clarifying shampoo today, so I definitely wanted to have something on my hair to protect it. I also like to use this for some slip to dry detangle my hair. Now, dry detangling is not for everybody. Some people prefer to do it while wet, especially if you have a tighter curl pattern, or maybe if you have a ton of hold in your hair, you might need to wet your hair first. And in that case, I would use a conditioner before you shampoo. You can use your same conditioner that you always use. Just apply a little bit to remove those tangles and loose hairs before you go in with the shampoo. It's going to save you so much time at detangling because then you're not shampooing your hair that's already tangled, and that just leads to a matted mess. So I definitely recommend just getting rid of those tangles and loose hairs first. You just want to use a small amount though. You don't want to use too much of this because it shouldn't be hard to shampoo out. You just want enough for some slip. Now that my curls are fully brushed out and look crazy, you want to let this sit. I usually will clip my hair up and let it soak in. Ideally, you do this the night before you wash. That way it has time to fully soak in. But definitely let it soak in before you go in and shampoo, or else it's going to be difficult to shampoo your hair, especially if you use too much. So the next step is to clarify. I'm first wetting my hair down. You want to make sure that your hair is good and evenly wet before you start to shampoo. Then I'm using the Suave Daily Clarifying Shampoo. This shampoo is only about $2 and you can find it at your local grocery store. I actually ordered this with my grocery order, but this is just a classic clarifying shampoo. It does contain sulfate, so it is a very strong shampoo, but sulfates is one way to clarify your hair. It also has ingredients in it that will remove hard water minerals. Only certain shampoos have ingredients that can remove hard water minerals because they're extra stubborn and they cling to the hair. Those are things that are naturally found in our water, like calcium and magnesium, and they can really build up on the hair. Not everyone has hard water, but a large majority does. So usually if I am going to clarify, I will try and find a clarifying shampoo that has ingredients like disodium EDTA in it. Tetrasodium EDTA is another one that will remove those minerals. So this is just going to give you a clean slate. So it's going to remove product buildup, sweat, oil, dirt, hard water minerals, and just give you a reset for a clean slate to then go in and style your hair. So you can do this about 1 to 2 times a month, just depending on how often you usually get buildup. Even our good curly hair products that are very moisturizing can still cause buildup on the hair, especially if you're just using a co-wash or if you're not using a shampoo that's very effective at cleansing the hair on a weekly basis. You can get buildup over time. So that's why I usually like to rotate in a clarifying shampoo about once a month. Also, if you'll notice, I'm mainly focusing this on the roots and scalp area. You really want to spend some time scrubbing your scalp with the pads of your fingers. And then when you rinse your hair, it will kind of just work it down the lengths of your hair. But you want to be very gentle with the lengths of your hair and you don't want to rough them up too much. So that's why I will usually just kind of smooth the shampoo over it, but I'm not scrubbing the lengths of my hair or anything like that because you don't want to cause more tangles, especially with a shampoo like this that's very strong. You will get kind of that drying feeling as you're shampooing. So then I'm just rinsing it out and again, just kind of massaging my scalp to ensure it's fully rinsed out and the shampoo will kind of run over the links. And my hair definitely felt like it had been stripped after this shampoo. Now, typically I don't like that feeling. It can be kind of an icky feeling in your hair that you wouldn't want every single wash day, but for a reset wash day routine, it's not always a bad thing to get a clean slate we're going to still apply conditioner right after this, which I could not wait to get in my hair because it did not feel very great. So for deep conditioner, I'm using the Shea Moisture Protein Power Treatment. So I got this for around $11. So this is one of the most expensive products in the routine, but this is a deep conditioning mask. I highly recommend deep conditioning anytime that you're going to clarify because again, clarifying is a stronger shampoo. And so you do want to really restore that moisture. And plus then you're really getting a reset. Usually on days when I do use a deep conditioner, I won't use a conditioner too because deep conditioners are conditioning, even if they do have strengthening ingredients like this one. This is gonna be more ideal for people with dry, damaged, or weak hair. If you do have hair that is healthy, you can still incorporate some protein every once in a while. You're just not going to need it as often. And I usually will use a protein deep conditioner about 1 to 2 times a month. So I'm just working that all throughout the lengths of my hair and then mainly focusing it on the lower section on my ends. And then I will usually add a little bit of water and then kind of scrunch it in. This is going to help with absorption. My hair doesn't have trouble absorbing products. It really soaks everything up. So I can usually use quite a bit of conditioner. So you always want to read the label and see how long it says to leave this on. I believe this one said about 10 minutes. Don't leave it on longer than what the label says and do not sleep in it. It's not good for your hair or for your scalp. So after I let it sit for about 10 minutes, then I rinse it out fully. You wanna make sure you fully get out the deep treatment. Don't leave it in your hair. After I rinse out my conditioner, I like to kind of run my hands through my hair and just lift it off the scalp so that way it's not stuck down. And then I can kind of assess and see how my hair feels. My hair actually felt pretty moisturized. It didn't feel bad at this stage, but it did when I went to apply my products, which I will show you. But right here while my hair was wet, it felt fine and moisturized and didn't feel too dry because it still had all that water in it. Then I wrapped my hair up in my hair repair towel. You can also use just any cotton t-shirt that you have on hand. So then I like to take my hair down out of my hair repair towel and then spritz it with some water. This is going to help re-moisturize the hair. You want your hair to be evenly wet and have enough water in it when you go to apply your styling products. You don't have to have a spray bottle. You can totally just use your hands under the tap and just make sure that the lengths of your hair is wet. This is when my hair really started to feel dry and brittle. So I was misting it down with some water and then I was raking my hands through it because I usually will brush through my hair before I go to apply my styling products so that way everything's smoothed out and it's not kind of tangly. But I definitely needed to have used a leave-in conditioner or a curl cream. Typically, you will see me use a curl cream or a leave-in conditioner at this step, but I wanted to keep it very minimal and just use a gel. Plus, I wanted to test out the gel that I'm going to be using by itself to really see how well that it works and if it is moisturizing, but I definitely needed a cream. So I'm going to brush through my hair using the same brush I'm going to use to style today, which is from Kiss. This is the Kiss Detangling brush. It's only about $5. I got mine from Walmart, but I usually do not recommend brushing through your hair like this to detangle with a brush that's meant for styling that has that rubber backing that helps give your hair tension for styling. I know the brush is labeled as a detangling brush, but do not use this to detangle. I could barely get this brush through my hair. I mean, granted, I didn't have any cream in my hair and that was probably part of it, but it has that texturized base to it. So that's just gonna add more tension. So you don't wanna be using this to detangle. So for gel, I'm testing out this Hask Curl Shaping Jelly, which says that it's a medium hold. It says it's a level 3 out of 5. So we're going to be testing the hold level. This says that it contains coconut oil, argan oil, and vitamin E. And reading that, I thought it would be moisturizing because it does contain those oils, but really this definitely needed a cream underneath. As I said, my hair felt very dry, which probably was from the clarifying shampoo, but I'm surprised that the deep conditioner didn't do more moisturizing than it did today. I don't know. We need to test it again, so we definitely will in my next video. So after I apply my gel, that's usually when I will do some brush styling. So brush styling for me really just helps to clump the curls. It helps to enhance the ringlets so that way they're more defined. It really just helps my hair last a lot longer. Anytime I skip brush styling, my hair ends up so stringy and frizzy and it just doesn't hold up. But this step is definitely optional. You don't have to use a brush to style. You totally can just use your hands. There's different techniques you can use like finger coiling and the praying hands method that can help enhance the curls. But I definitely prefer brush styling because it's a lot faster and it gives me better results. This Kiss brush, I was very impressed with its ability to really define the curls and create ringlets. It's very similar to the Denman brush. I am going to be comparing the two in my next video, so stay tuned for that. If you want to see a side-by-side comparison, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out when I post that video because it's going to be a good one comparing the two side by side. I was really surprised at the lack of slip that this gel had. With this being a jelly consistency, it's a liquidy consistency, which is usually my preferred texture of gel. This is why I picked this gel, because I like a very thin, lightweight gel because my hair is very tangly. And usually lightweight gels usually are very slippery, but this one did not have slip at all. So we'll have to see in my next video if I do have more slip when I'm not clarifying with this gel, but it was definitely lacking slip. So it's kind of hard to get the brush through my hair with the gel in it because it's so dry and I don't have enough slip. So if your gel is like that, or if you're using this gel, you might want to use it after you brush style. That's not usually how I style though, because I always use gels that contain slip. But if you had a cream underneath, you would have more slip. But you can lose a lot more hair when you're brushing through a product that doesn't have slip, especially with a brush that gives as much tension as this one. I was definitely losing a lot more hairs than usual, and I think it's because of the lack of slip in these products and the lack of conditioning in my hair since it was feeling so dry. I'm also kind of breaking up the large curl clumps because I like to have more volume in my hair, so if I over clump the hair, then it really looks sparse and it doesn't have much fullness throughout. Around the face framing pieces is usually where I do the brush coiling technique, which is where you wrap the hair around the handle of the brush, but that wasn't really working with this brush because it has these grooves around the handle, which help give you grip, which is nice, but you can't really use it to brush coil. So if you do like to wrap the hair around the handle, it's a little difficult with this because it just gets kind of stuck and will snag. I was so glad to be done styling because I just did not like the way that my hair felt. I kept adding water too because I felt like I needed more water for more slip because this product didn't have slip and my hair was really lacking that conditioning. So I kept adding more water. So my hair was more wet than it usually is when I style. Typically I will damp style, but I just went around and scrunched my hair with my hair repair towel. You don't need to buy a towel like this. You can just use an old t-shirt, but I do find this one's nice because it's more absorbent and it's super large, so you can wrap your hair in different ways. But I'm just going around and scrunching my hair very gently. I do have a little bit of wet frizz showing, so I'm just going to glaze some more gel over the surface of my hair. I usually will add an extra light layer of gel, usually mixed with water so it's not too much after I microplop, because microplopping can absorb some product and you might end up with some frizz, especially in areas that are more high porosity. So here's my hair after styling, and now I'm ready to diffuse. So for my diffuser, I'm using a very affordable diffuser. This is usually on sale for around 25 or 35 bucks. I usually see it on Amazon for that price, but they also have it at Walmart and Target, I believe. It's from CONAIR. It's the INFINITIPRO Texture Styler, I think it's called. But this one's nice for curly hair because it has a warm setting on it. It doesn't get too hot because you don't want to damage your curls. And it also has prongs that come outside of the diffuser bowl. So you definitely want those longer prongs in your diffuser, not those flat diffuser designs, because you can use those prongs to create root lift and volume and also dry your roots. So that's why I really like this one. It has a good diffuser design and it doesn't get too hot with that warm setting. I usually will switch between warm and hot. I will say this hair dryer does take longer to dry my hair compared to the Curlsmith hair dryer that I usually use. It definitely takes a little bit longer compared to that one because my other one has a really large diffuser head, and so it dries more surface area at once, and it has holes in the prongs which help to really reach the roots, whereas this one doesn't have holes in the prongs. So the air, it'll still get to your roots because you're kind of lifting the hair up off the roots with the prongs, but the air is not coming out of the prongs, if that makes sense. But it's a great budget hair dryer if you are on a budget and you want something more affordable. If you don't have time to fully diffuse though, you can totally just diffuse for 5 or 10 minutes to set that cast and then finish air drying. That's better than just fully air drying. So then I usually will fluff my hair and scrunch out the crunch, but I didn't really have much cast at all in my hair, maybe just a little bit. And I definitely had quite a bit of frizz like the back and around the roots. I had a lot of halo frizz, which I think is from the dryness in my hair. And plus the gel being like more of a medium hold, I usually need strong hold or else I do get frizz like this, which still looks pretty good. But to tame that frizz, I like to add a little bit more gel usually, which will really help give you more hold. So I did decide to add a little bit more of the Hask gel. I just sort of smoothed it over the surface to tame some of that halo frizz. And I definitely noticed that I got way more hold out of this method. So perhaps this gel does better on damp hair versus soaking wet hair because I'm applying it to dry hair here and I'm getting a ton of hold. So that could indicate that it works better on damp hair if you want more hold. but I needed so much water in my hair because it had no slip. So perhaps when I use a cream underneath, I won't need to use as much water. So here are my finished results after my hair is completely dried. I had so much more hold after adding extra gel, and the ringlets look so good. I have such good volume in my hair. It feels pretty soft. It actually doesn't feel dry at all. It's so funny how sometimes stylers can feel terrible when you're applying them, but then your hair dries with these kind of results. So I was definitely impressed with the final results. Let me know what you think, but let's see how my day 2 hair looks. It is now day 2, and I'm honestly shocked at these results. I thought for sure my curls were not going to hold up. I thought my hair would feel super dry today, but it actually looks really good. I have not refreshed today. It's officially been like over 24 hours since I washed and styled my hair. I do have some frizz, but it's nothing that's out of the ordinary for me. Like, this is usually about the amount of frizz that I have on day 2. And for being like a light to medium hold gel, I'm really impressed at the hold in my hair. Still have really good ringlets. A lot of this, as I mentioned, is due to the brush styling. That's what gives me the really defined curls, that helps the curls hold their shape. Because if I don't brush style, I end up with a ton of stringy curls and a lot more frizz from that stringiness on day 2. So the ringlets definitely help in the curl clumps. Overall, looks really good. I have a couple areas that have some frizz, like my problem areas, which is nothing out of the ordinary. Definitely some halo frizz going on, which I think is from the dryness. And I could touch that up with some curl cream. That's how I would kind of fix a dry wash day, is I would refresh by adding in some curl cream mixed with water to kind of moisturize my hair, especially in these dry areas. These ends are pretty dry for me, so they need much more moisture, whereas this underside layer is a lot healthier, so it still feels pretty good. So I've already worked out in this, I've showered, I slept in my bonnet to protect my curls. So let's see how it looks on day 3 without doing a refresh. I'm not gonna refresh. Now day 3, and I thought I would share an update with you outside in the natural light, because hair always looks different in different lighting, and you can really see frizz just depending on what the lighting is. So I haven't done anything to my hair, and I feel like it looks really good. I haven't done any refreshing. It's now day 3. I haven't even added any water to my hair. The only thing I've done is like use my fingers, just dry hands, to sort of unravel some curl clumps and like tuck in a few frizzy areas and just sort of reposition the curls. But that's it. Like, my hair looks and feels really soft. I feel like there definitely is more frizz today compared to yesterday. But because the curl clumps still look really good, I'm not even minding the frizz. Like, I'm loving the volume. I would totally go out with it like this. I mean, I could use a little bit of a refresh if I wanted it to look perfect, but overall, it looks really great. It definitely is starting to feel a little bit dry in some areas, but I believe I could probably fix that with refreshing. And my next wash day, I definitely want to do a moisturizing deep conditioner and really moisturize my hair, because I do feel like it's slightly dry. Comment down below and let me know if you would like to see me use this product again with the Hask curl cream. I did buy that cream. I have tried it out, but with a different gel, and I did really like it. And I think it would pair nicely with this. So let me know if you want to see that down below. And also let me know if you would like to see a comparison video, maybe between this Kiss brush and the Denman brush, because I felt like they were very similar and gave similar effects. I'm going to link all of the products that I used in the description box down below. I actually have a shop page over on my blog where you can browse products. It's everything that I've tried before and products that I actually do recommend. And you can actually filter by different needs. So if you want to find a medium hold gel, or maybe you want a strong hold gel, or maybe you want a gel that doesn't contain any protein or is glycerin free, you can apply those filters and find the perfect match for you. So the link for my shop page will be linked down below in the description box. And if you want to see another drugstore routine that turned out really good, and I actually love the gel now, it's definitely going to be one of my favorites from the drugstore, I recommend checking out the video that's linked right here on the screen. It was actually a Q&A where I answer some questions about achieving more definition and getting more root volume, and I answer a lot of your questions related to some common curly hair problems while using this gel that I found from the drugstore that works great. So I will talk to you over there. Bye everyone.